I'm Sam.
Hi, I'm Ketty.
And we are the Lotus in Life. So Ketty, here we are. It's the 5th video that we're recording today. And today we're actually going to look at the 3 realms of existence, which is the wrap-up of the whole concept that we've been discussing the last 4 times.
Yeah, our big finale, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So we had the 10 worlds to start with, and the mutual possession of the 10 worlds, and the 10 factors. And today we're going to look at the 3 realms of existence.
Yeah.
So again, this comes from the Indigo magazine, May edition of 2007. And the 3 realms, which explains the relationship between the self, living beings, and the environment. So, Ketty, would you like to expand on the first of the 3 realms, which is the realm of self?
Yeah, thank you, Sam. So, Buddhism traditionally defines living beings as being made up of 5 components. So, the first one is form. This is the physical self, our body, and the sensory organs that we perceive the world, but also the mind is the 6th organ. The next one is perception. This is the function of organizing and coordinating the information from the outer world through our 6 organs. So no 2 people's perceptions are the same. Conception is the 3rd one. This is the function where we form the idea or the concept about what we have been perceived. This includes value judgments and what is good or bad. Yeah. Volition is the next one. This is the will to act based on the conception or judgment that we have made on what we have perceived. And consciousness is the last one. This functions to support and integrate the other 4 components, as well as the discerning function of life through which one can make value judgments. So consciousness gives rise to and integrates all the other spiritual functions. So as you can see, that all link to each other. It's first through the senses, then we perceive it, then we conceive ideas, then after that we act based on those ideas, and consciousness is the final one that combines them all.
Very, very well put, Ketty.
Thank you.
And I think as well that to me those last 2, and they're all very important obviously, but the last 2, volition, is our actual our choice. Like we have a choice, we have two ideas and we can make a choice out of those 2 ideas, and that's volitional consciousness. So those 2 are very, very important. Moving on from there, Buddhism holds that the physical and spiritual aspects of life are inseparable, as you were saying just now. So there is no form without perception, conception, volition, and consciousness. And there is no consciousness without form, perception, conception, volition. So these 5 components must be understood as a whole and grasped in terms of their interaction.
Yeah. Every person on earth differs from others by their unique expression of the 5 components. How the 5 components are expressed also differs depending on the life state we are in. So this determines how we perceive reality and therefore how we respond at any given moment. So there's many, many possibilities there. The next realm is the realm of living beings. So this realm is all living beings whom any individual interacts. So this is people, animals, birds, whatever. Living beings cannot live in complete isolation from each other. So as we all know, there's always going to be interrelations and mutual dependence with other living beings. By grappling with the realities of life where we are, we reveal the potential of Buddhahood to give hope to others. Whereas an escapist attitude, we ignore the suffering existing in the contemporary society. When we limit ourselves to seeking comfort, we do not give ourselves the opportunity to courageously face our inner weakness. However, engaging in dialogue with an open heart continuously opens up the possibility for transforming ourselves and is the surest means to work towards a more harmonious society.
Absolutely. So as you just read there, it's so important to to have courage.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And to face our fears and to face them head on.
Yeah, and we can't isolate from other people either. We have to recognize that we're all surrounded by relationships and we need them to survive.
Absolutely. And that the core of the Soka Gakkai are these lovely meetings that we hold in our various areas.
Yeah.
So Nichiren Daishonin used the analogy, and this is to do with life states, used the analogy of a mirror to describe people's life state. He said that through polishing this mirror day and night, through the practice of chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, our lives would come to shine and reflect the true nature of life, allowing for the three qualities of courage, compassion, and wisdom to be revealed through our own unique expression. Elevating our life condition refers to giving full expression to our true self without changing who we are. Through the courage to manifest the creative expression of our tendencies, we can reveal the enlightened aspects of them. Nichiren refers to this as earthly desires are enlightenment.
Wow.
And then going on to the realm of the environment, this is the third realm. So all living beings function in some sort of environment that supports their existence and where they carry out their activities. Buddhism expounds the concept of the oneness of life and its environment, which in the Japanese is Eshofuni, which, by the way, we'll be discussing this in our next video, which is looking forward to that one.
Me too.
So, whichever of the 10 worlds a living being manifests will be reflected in the environment of that living being.
So the purpose of practicing Buddhism is that rather than being affected by our environment, we determine to transform it. And this is at the core of our practice. So once again, the purpose of studying the concept of Ichinen Sanzen is to give us confidence that the potential always exists to transform our environment. There's a quote by Nichiren Daishonin on attaining Buddhahood in this lifetime that says, if the minds of the people are impure, their land is also impure. But if their minds are pure, so is their land. There are not two lands, pure or impure themselves. The difference lies solely in the good or evil of our minds.
Yeah, that is such a great posture.
Yeah, I think everyone is familiar with this quote, and it's really good because it just provides us with the power to change our environment. And once you realize that, how you perceive the world impacts your expression of it and your understanding, then the world seems different.
Absolutely, well put. So, as we believe, so do we act. The potential effects of our actions accumulate in the depths of our lives to find expression in daily life. So once again, this Buddhism is not separate from our daily life.
Yeah, exactly.
Daily life and Buddhism are the same things. So when the time and conditions are right, if we think of the objective world as a screen on which the effects of our actions are reflected, like a shadow cast by a body, it means we can determine how the world around us is. Blaming our surroundings for our misery is like the body blaming the shadow for its shape. Can't do that, can you?
That's a funny way to put it. I like it.
So now this brings us to the concept of Ichinen Sanzen.
Yeah, our big finale.
This is the big finale, the big finish. So putting together all the concepts discussed in the last 4 videos that we've made, we find there are 3,000 life potentials that exist in a single moment of life. Difficult to conceive.
It's pretty crazy.
But the more we chant, the more we can understand this concept. And we can understand that Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, or Buddhahood, is our potential. So it doesn't matter what life condition we're in. If we're in hell, for instance, we can go from hell to Buddhahood in a heartbeat. So this is it. This is what we've been studying, is the 10 worlds multiplied by 10 is the mutual possession of the 10 worlds, makes it 100. Multiplied by the 10 factors, which is what we say when we finish the first part of Gongyo every day. Nyoze so, nyoze sho, nyoze tai, nyoze riki, nyoze sa, nyoze in, nyoze in, nyoze ka, nyoze ho, nyoze honmak kuki oto. I thought I could say that without taking a breath, but I did have to. So they're the 10 factors. So now we're up to 1,000. Now we've just done the 3 realms. So we've just done the 3,000 aspects of life contained in a single moment.
But Sam, can you tell me, how is this related to changing the world in a positive way? Because it's all well and good in theory, but how can we put this into action?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, Katie. And I can think of no better way than trying to give a very concrete explanation by using some of Daisaku Ikeda's guidance, where he says, one's inner determination to fight now opens the way forward. The way now is crucial, like living in the moment. It's not about what has happened in the past, nor what action will be taken in the future. The crucial moment to effect great transformation is when we pray to the Gohonzon and manifest determination and awareness for our mission for Kozen Rufu.
So President Ikeda goes on to say, we have to make a determination, pray, and take action. Unless we do so, our environment will not change in the least. Our single-minded determination for Kozen Rufu, and that alone, creates the time. That time is when we set our lives in motion, when we stand up on our own volition and by our own will and strength. That time is the moment that you resolve from the depths of your heart, now I will stand up and fight. From that instant, your destiny changes, your life develops, and history begins. This is the spirit of the mystic principle of the true cause, Myo. This is the principle of Ichinen Sanzen.
That is so exciting to contemplate that, isn't it? Your life develops, history begins. I love that. That's great.
Me too.
So, more than a mere observation of life, Buddhism provides a means to engage in life wholeheartedly and transform suffering into joy through the practice of chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. The common theme throughout the last 4 videos that we've made has been on the interconnectedness of life, and in particular the interconnectedness of all aspects within our own life. Each aspect of our life affects all other aspects simultaneously. Expressing Buddhahood illuminates the enlightened aspects of all our tendencies, creating value from our life at this moment.
Yes, Sam, that's really powerful. So I can explain this through just a quick example, that in the ocean, there's no separate parts that cannot be called the ocean. Examining the ocean at different locations still reveals the ocean. Likewise, any and all expressions of our life, from anger to joy, are an expression of life itself, and can at any time manifest the life state of Buddhahood. Just as winter contains within the potential for the expression of spring, anger contains within it the potential for the expression of Buddhahood.
Well put. So, based on this whole concept of the 3 realms and the Ichinen Sanzen, I'd like to ask you a question, if I may, Katie, and that is, for you, what is the importance of making a great determination to transform yourself? And could you give an example of how you've actually influenced your environment?
Thank you, Sam, for your very nice question. So I think while we were working on this came at the right moment in my life, because I was struggling a lot with uni about what my purpose or my determination was. And I was asking myself, why am I doing these things when I don't know why I'm doing them? And it just felt really lifeless, it felt mundane. And that makes me say from the heart that the importance of having a great determination is because it gives your life a spark. You look at things differently. Once I made my determination that I want to get the best out of life and I'm going to put my best foot forward every day, my environment changed and I changed because I worked harder, I worked happier. One example of how I've influenced in my environment is when I went to the gym with Peter, my boyfriend. I decided like the night before about my purpose, and I realized, okay, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to be motivated. I'm going to give my 100% to be here in this moment. And he was so happy and he was motivated from me being motivated, because it's encouraging to see people give their 100%. And just by being your motivated self, by having a purpose, it encourages others to do the same and see, because they ask, what's that light in you? And it's your great determination. I'd like to ask you the same thing, Sam. What is the importance of making a great determination to transform yourself? And give an example of how you've influenced your environment.
Well, once again, actually, before I answer that question, I have to say, the pearls of wisdom coming from youth. Love it. So the question about the importance of determination and the importance of making a great determination to transform myself is the first part of the question. And I think the importance for me of making a determination is challenging myself to do something which is possibly out of my comfort zone. And I find when I do that, I can transform and I can change. And I think one of the greatest examples I can use for this was when I stopped gambling. And what happened when I stopped gambling was I changed. I went from hell to a high life state. And that was because I made that determination to stop, to get out of that hell life state, which I did not want to be in anymore. And when I did that, things started to change, and my life, that was some 30 odd years ago, my life has changed in so many ways since then. And to give an example of how I affect my environment through this determination is every day when I go out to sell, because I'm a salesman, and I go out and I'm a cold calling salesman, and I go out every day selling my wares. And sometimes I'll go into a shop and I'll feel you could cut the air with a knife. The atmosphere is depressed.
Yeah, tense.
And tense. So the first thing I do is I'll just try and diffuse that with humour. Or I'll try and say something encouraging to the person. Or I'll walk in if it's a nice sunny day. I'll say, oh, it's a great day, isn't it, today? Or isn't it a lovely day? Or, you know, how's life treating you? Or whatever it is. And that is how I can use my life condition to actually affect my environment in a good way. So that when I walk out, hopefully that person that I've walked out from is feeling better and can enjoy their day a lot more than they did before I walked in. Yeah.
That's really inspiring, Sam. It is like when you are happy, you just push it out towards other people and they can feel it as well. It's really great that you can transform your environment like that.
Thank you. Thanks, Katie. So I hope all of you out there in watching land, in the world of YouTube, have got something out of this. I'm so glad that we had this material.
Yeah, such great material.
And we'll continue to use past material for these discussions that we're going to bring to you on the YouTube channel. The next one that we'll talk about is something that's been touched on in this piece, which is the oneness of yourself, or the inseparability of yourself and the environment. The Japanese word for that is eshofuni. But we'll be talking about that in our next episode.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, be good. It's a very important concept.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, thank you so much for your attention, and I know I've really enjoyed making this video.
Me too. It's really helped me a lot, like developing, because it's really coincidental, mystic, you might say,
Yeah.
that every time I do one of these videos, it coincides with the point in my life where I need it. So I'm very grateful for what we have, and really grateful for what's going to come in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know myself, I never stop learning. So I'm Sam.
I'm Ketty.
And we are the Lotus in Life. Until next time.
Bye.
See ya.